Hello and welcome to Dave the Suit Betting. Well, what can I say about Wednesday? Port Headland. I had a decent bet on that. I thought it was a pretty good bet, to be honest. I don't know if you saw the interview with the trainer beforehand where he said that Port Headland, he trained it on its own and it only knew one style of running, that was to get out like a scalded cat, and that he thought that today it would lead all the way and hopefully hang on. Well, perhaps he should have told the jockey that.
Port Headland's the one that needs to pick up a bit.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
Anyway, you've got to pick yourself up and dust yourself down onto Thursday. Here's the race I'm looking at for Thursday. So Thursday, this is the race I'm looking at, the 350 at Salisbury over 6 furlongs. It's a fillies 2-year-old Group 3. Tabiti is a 7-4 favourite. Jewellery 5-1. Magic Mile 5-1. Betty Clover, who seems to have been around a long time, 8-1. So first of all, let's have a look at the favourite. It's got Ryan Moore on. Tabiti's. It ran at Newmarket over 7. Here's the race. This is Tabiti in a newcomers maiden fillies race at Newmarket over 7 furlongs. It's coming out of the 10 stall. It's the Khalid Abdullah colours with the green cap. So he's out okay. He basically got to the front, and that's more or less where it stays. I'll fast forward this. So here it is. It's still in the lead. We've just gone past the 2 pole. It's still in the lead. He's got horses either side and just behind. And the filly pushed. 1 or 2 challenges. It's definitely being ridden now. 1 or 2 challenges coming. Whipped, furlong pole, rising ground. 1 or 2 challenges on its left, but it half furlong marker, and it wins really well. Well, that race, none of the horses had ever had a run before. I think it won well. It was over 7 furlongs. It's a reasonable speed rating for the race, and it was on good to firm ground. Today, at Salisbury, it's over 6 furlongs. It is a stiff track, Salisbury, and it's got a good draw for a front runner. It's drawn in 1. Let's have a look at the Jewellery, which is the 5-1 there, second favourite. This is Jewellery on its only ever run, coming out of the 6th stall at Newbury over 6 furlongs. Let's watch the start. Now look at that. Dwells in the stall. Out of the 6th stall we're looking at. Dwells in the stall. Slightly veers right coming out. Probably lost 2 lengths there. Tucks it in. Gets it in a reasonable position. Let me fast forward. So here it is. Mid-pack. Probably in about 4th, maybe 5th place. Now the first 2 here, they start to quicken. And he has to come behind them at the 2 pole. He's just pushing it a little bit, rowing. Comes out on the right. Now watch it. He almost stops riding here. He thinks he's going to win really easily. Watch. That's it. He just seems to stop. Like slow motion. Now the horse then starts to hang right. The jockey straightens it up. And then it kind of hangs left. Runs a little bit green. But he's never laid a finger on it. He's never laid a finger on the horse. This is Jewellery's race. Let's just have a quick look at it. The form at Newbury. So it was 6 furlong fillies novice stakes. Class 4. Slowly away, midfield, headway from 2 out, ridden briefly and led over 1 out, edge left but kept on well inside, final furlong, promising. Now the second horse, which it beat 2.5 lengths comfortably, Too Much For Me. Let's have a quick look at that. There's a previous winner at Ripon, won a Ripon race by 3 lengths. He pulverised it. That was over 6 furlong at Newmarket. I thought it ran really well. He never laid a finger on it. It ran a little bit green, slightly missed the break somewhat. And it came out of the pack. He switched it right. It ran on, it drifted a little bit. I think he knew he got a ton of horse under him, because I think he almost stopped riding. It was like he stopped pushing as vigorously, and it won really, really well. And I do like that form. I really do. That's drawn 4 today at Salisbury. Now, here's a horse that seems to have been around forever, Betty Clover. Let's have a look at its race. We're going back a while, over 5 furlongs at Salisbury, on soft ground, heavy in places. Now this is Betty Clover at Salisbury, but over 5 furlongs. You can see how the course bends. It isn't a straight. You can see just behind the stalls, which is where you would be running over 6 furlongs, the kink in the bend here. Now Betty Clover's coming out of the 2 box here on soft ground, heavy in places, and it can't utilise the draw. Here it is in the 2 box. Let's watch the start. So watch, the horses, despite all this jumbling about in the middle, they come across. Now Betty Clover, looking at this, should have a clear run up the rail. But watch, they all shoot the wrong way. They all want to come over to this side. And despite all the argy-bargy that went off, as they get to the bend, you think Betty Clover's going to get to the bend in the lead. And look, she's about 6. So you've got to switch round. And the horse that wins is the one that got the rail. Betty Clover stays on. This is soft ground, heavy in places, remember, at Salisbury, a stiff track. Gets beaten 1.25 lengths. You've got to be able to utilise that draw. Well, today, Betty Clover is drawn in stall 2. It's a horse that tends to come from behind. Let's remind ourselves what Betty Clover's done this year. Now, Betty Clover has got good form. Won at Bath first time out. Ran at Salisbury this track over 5. Ran a good second behind Running Queen. Then it came out and won a listed fillies race very well at York on good ground. Got caned at Ascot on good to firm, but then came out, that was in a Group 2, came out and ran a really, really good second in a Group 3 behind Simmering. Simmering went on to win a Group 2 in Deauville in France by 3 lengths. So the form's got a very solid look to it. So as you can see, in my not so humble opinion, it likes a little bit of cut. Now it disappointed at York. York was riding fast. It ran really well over 5 furlongs. I've shown you the race. Now, let me go over a few things. I put my bet on. I backed Jewellery each way at 5 to 1. I was given a free bet by Bet365. And what I've done with that, I've put it on Betty Clover to win at 8 to 1. Now, when I started recording this synopsis of the race, Jewellery is now 4 to 1. So you can't really play each way to get your money back. So I'm changing my selection. My selection was going to be Jewellery each way at 5s. I have played at 5s. But I've also got the free bet on Betty Clover. And I'm going to tell you why I'm changing the selection. My recommendation to you Look at this weather forecast. So this is Thursday's weather forecast for Salisbury. They've got a yellow warning out for rain. And the rain's going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then it gets heavy at 10. And it looks like heavy rain. And it's 90%, which is basically a certainty. 95. The race is at 3:50, basically 4 o'clock. You've got a solid 6 hours of rain, some of it heavy. So as you can see, they're going to get a lot of rain. I'm on jewellery regardless, and I've got a free bet on Betty Clover. But I am changing my selection for you. My recommendation now for you, the viewers, the subscribers, is to play Betty Clover each way at 8-1. Forecast going, I think it'll be good to soft. It likes cut. It's got the form in the bag. The Group 3 race that it came second in, the winners won a Group 2 in France. I think that form could be good enough with the cut. I think it wants 6. Well, it's ran really well over 6 at Ascot, obviously. Magic Mile has also improved for the step up to 6 furlongs, but it's got a lot of ground to make up on the form with Betty Clover at York. I don't quite think it's good enough. I think it's an handicapper. This is Dave the Suit. It's got a bit complicated, but I hope I've communicated it well. Bye for now.